Fofau's 5 Olympic appearances, 1992 to 2008. 5 Olympics across 16 years. Brazilian setter Helia Fofau Souza competed in 5 Olympic Games and won 3 medals, including gold at age 38 in her final Olympics. Volleyball is brutal on the body, staying at Olympic level for 16 years while the game evolves around you. That's not just skill, that's superhuman longevity that few will ever match. Paola Egonu's 45-point match. 45 points in a single match. Paola Egonu, at the 2018 World Championship semifinal against China, didn't just break records, she obliterated them. She broke a 12-year-old record by 5 whole points. In modern volleyball, with sophisticated defenses and balanced team offense, one player scoring 45 points requires a perfect storm of individual brilliance in game circumstances that might never align again.
What a nice set. What a nice set. I watched that and I thought...
Eczacıbaşı's 17 consecutive championships. 17 straight Turkish championships. Eczacıbaşı didn't just dominate Turkish volleyball, they owned it for nearly 2 decades. From 1972 to 1989, no one else even had a chance. They won 27 of the first 33 championships available, creating a dynasty that modern parity makes impossible. No one has come close to this record in either the Turkish league or any other major European league. Today's volleyball doesn't allow this kind of sustained dominance.
Nikolai Karpol's 51-year coaching record. 51 years coaching the same team. Nikolai Karpol started coaching Euroloshka in 1969 and never left. That's a Guinness World Record for loyalty that sounds made up. Over 25 national championships, Olympic glory with USSR and Russia, and 5 decades of excellence. In today's world where coaches change teams like clothes, Karpol's record is a monument to consistency that will never be matched. Nebraska's 92,003 attendance record, 92,000 fans for a volleyball match. Let me repeat that. 92,000 people watched volleyball. Nebraska versus Omaha at Memorial Stadium didn't just break the volleyball attendance record, it shattered the all-time women's sports attendance record. Dubbed Volleyball Day in Nebraska, the event in the U.S. broke the world record for the biggest attendance for a women's sports event. The previous record of 91,648 was set on 20 April 2022 at Camp Nou in Spain when Barcelona's women's football players hosted Wolfsburg in the UEFA Champions League semifinal. This wasn't just about volleyball, this was a cultural phenomenon. Moving an indoor sport to a football stadium and filling every seat? All glory to Nebraska people, and it's probably unrepeatable anywhere else in the world. Vakıfbank's quintuple crown 2012-13. 5 major trophies in one season, undefeated. Vakıfbank didn't just win everything available, they did it without losing a single match across 52 games. Domestic League, Turkish Cup, Super Cup, Champions League, Club World Championship. Clean sweep. Under the leadership of Coach Gudetti, Vakıfbank achieved significant success by bringing together experienced and young players. Naz Akyol, Brakocevic, Glinka, Kimura, First, and Bahar Toksoy were the standout players. If you recognize any of these players, drop a comment below. This was part of their 73-match winning streak, and it showcases something almost impossible in modern volleyball: staying perfect across multiple competitions with different styles, travel, and pressure. Japan's perfect 1976 Olympics. You think winning Olympic gold is hard? Try winning it without losing a single set. Japan at Montreal 1976 went 5-0 in matches and lost 0 sets, not 1. They outscored opponents 225-84 and made volleyball look like a math equation. This level of perfection requires everything to go right against the world's best teams. In modern volleyball, with rally scoring and increased competition, a perfect Olympic run is like finding a unicorn riding another unicorn. Imoco Conegliano's 76-match winning streak, 2019 to 2021. 76 straight wins across all competitions. That's a Guinness World Record that sounds fake until you realize it's absolutely real. From December 2019 to November 2021, Imoco turned volleyball into a highlight reel. Led by Paola Egonu, they went undefeated in Italian League, Champions League, Club World Championships, 2 years without losing once. In today's volleyball, where every team can beat any team on any given day, this streak is basically impossible. Young coach Santarelli's system was almost perfect. Imoco's fast attacks and consistent blocking and defense led to a record-breaking performance. Setter Joanna Woolos directed the team like an orchestra conductor. Young Italian Egonu was a master at finishing spikes. Mackenzie Adams, Miriam Sila, Robin DeCruyff, and defensive expert Monica De Gennaro were the standouts. 3 straight Olympic golds. Yeah, you heard that right. For 8 years, the Cuban women's volleyball team stood on the top of the podium at every Olympic Games they entered: 1992, 1996, and 2000. Now let's take a closer look at how this incredible run unfolded. Barcelona, 1992. In the semifinals, Cuba faced the United States, a team full of power hitters who believed they could push the Caribbean champions aside. The match went the full distance, lasting 5 exhausting sets, but Cuba held their ground and came out on top. Captain Mireya Luis, although only 1.75 meters tall, stunned the crowd with her extraordinary jumping ability, flying above the net to score time and time again. Regla delivered attack after attack from the left wing, while setter Marlenis Costa kept the rhythm of the team steady and sharp. With this momentum, Cuba advanced to the final, where China, led by the legendary Lang Ping, claimed the first set and looked ready to seize control. But the Cubans adjusted quickly, fought back with intensity, and won the next 3 sets to secure the gold medal. It was their very first Olympic title, and they had announced themselves as a new force in world volleyball. Atlanta, 1996. 4 years later, the road was anything but easy. In the group stage, Brazil, powered by star outside hitter Ana Moser, handed Cuba a tough defeat and made it clear that nothing would come easily this time. When the two teams met again in the semifinals, the atmosphere was electric. The match stretched to 5 sets, every rally a test of nerves and endurance. But Cuba showed their resilience. Regla Torres, only 21 years old, dominated the net with her blocking, while Mireya Luis continued to score with her trademark power and elevation. Libero Idalmas Gato gave the team stability in defense, keeping the ball alive in crucial moments. Cuba edged out Brazil and booked another final against China. The Chinese arrived hungry for revenge, but once again, the Cubans were too strong. With consistent attacking from Luis and Bell, precision setting from Costa, and unshakable defense across the court, Cuba won the match 3-1 and captured their second consecutive Olympic gold. Sydney 2000. This final would become the most dramatic of them all. Facing Russia, a team loaded with young stars, the Cubans were immediately under pressure. Russia started strong, with Elena Godina dominating at the net, Yevgenia Artemanova, later known as Yevgenia Estes, firing powerful spikes, and Lyubov Sokolova adding steady scoring. The Russians surged ahead, taking the first 2 sets, and for a moment it looked as if Cuba's dynasty might finally end. But champions don't surrender. The Cubans dug deep in the 3rd set, found their rhythm again, and pulled it back. In the 4th set, they overpowered Russia, forcing a decisive 5th set. By then, the momentum was all theirs. Cuba jumped to an early lead, and Regla Torres sealed the victory with a final crushing spike. The scoreboard read 3-2, and with that point, Cuba had completed the three-peat. Wow! Imagine winning every single time you step on the court, game after game, year after year. From 2007 to 2010, Penn State women's volleyball did exactly that, stacking up 109 straight wins, the longest streak in NCAA Division I women's volleyball history. Opponents came in confident, but by the end, most were just trying to survive. With legendary coach Russ Rose pulling the strings, this team didn't just win, they steamrolled through the sport. When you talk about unstoppable forces in college sports, Penn State's 109-match streak isn't just part of the conversation, it is the conversation.